might have like saw my comment or my notification about that GitHub template that I posted. I wanted to help you in some way that, hey, I know that some, like every laptop has its own configurations, and these sort of things can make it difficult. So I created a template. In the template, there's a script. You go and run that script, simple. That script is designed to go through all the requirements for setting up your Streamlit for a new project. So you just need to clone it and then run the script. It should work. Even if it doesn't work, you can use your AI assistant to show it. And because the script is designed that includes everything you need, you should quickly set up your system to you can go ahead and work on the project, not wasting your time on setting up your Streamlit. So if you haven't tried it, make sure to go over it. All right, I'm gonna start here from this file that we created. Let's start from the top. I want to mention one thing that I probably should have mentioned early, which is kind of like setting up the applications, like the main topic and like the icons. You like generally, let's say you have an application and you want to set up like a title for a browser, right? So in the browser, you want to see like, let's say like a title, you want to see like an icon like that. So how do you do it in Streamlit? Oh, okay. So how do you do in a Streamlit? St dot what was it? Page set. Okay, set st dot oh, set page config. Okay, with st dot set page config, you can you have a few arguments that you can set. For example, the title. So here I'm gonna set the title as like a course management. Okay. Actually, let's just set this one too, so you know what is a page title is equal to course management. Then page icon. So if you want to you have an icon for your brand for your application, you can do it here. I'm gonna leave it empty. I don't have any icon right now here to place it. But inside that quotation, you can place any icon you have for your application. You can design it and then place it there, and it shows that icon. Then it comes to the layout. If you add the quotations, then you can see wide or centered. You can add the wide layout. You can add the centered layout. I will just add the centered layout. And the last one, which is initial sidebar state. Again, if you add the quotation, um, you have three options: auto, collapse, and expanded. Let's just start with the collapse. We don't have we haven't set the sidebar yet. Later we will set it, and then you can, if you want, you can come back here and change initial sidebar state. And basically, when it runs, initial state is that it collapses the sidebar, and then you can we can open it and use it. Terminal. Streamlit run day3.py. Okay, now you can see that your page at the top, you can see that it has a title and it has an icon. That's the default icon. Since I didn't change it, it used the default icon. If you change the icon, it will just show it in that place. Now your tab has a your page has a configuration. All right. So that's what we set. We wanted to set there. Okay. Let me go over the other item. All right, let me review what we did last session. We used tabs to create multiple tabs. For now, we have like 3 tabs. For how many tabs do you create in the SD tab? That's how many tabs you want to like create for variables, right? And then you want to use them with the keyword with. Anytime you're containing something inside a SD item, you're using the keyword with. You're saying with tab one, these should come. So you're containing inside with sd.container, with sd.expander, with sd.spinner. These are like saying that like within that like item, everything else has to be included. So the keyword with has to appear in that text. Okay. So with tab one, we added like a radio button with 2 options. But kind of we wanted to simulate that we can also like create tabs inside tabs, right? So but with a different UI element. In this case, we use like sd.radio to create it. sd.radio receives this like list of the like the items for the radio bar. That's why we have 2 radio bars. Each one of them will refresh the page or like show you the different UI. And then add new assignment. This was the one that initially we created with the item. We have the application here because when we were working, we wanted to see the difference between each one of them. We don't need to like have both of them, right? We should have only one of them. Just in this case, I wanted to have like 2 options to see them. And then we talked about the button. When you want to create a button here, you can use like with or like use container with. You want to add a name, and then like you can store it in a variable and say if like a C button is true, that means like when it's clicked, then you can trigger an action. You trigger an action. We use the spinner like with st.spinner again. We said like it's inside the spinner, and then like just add a new assignment to the list of assignments. Then we talked about this recording it as a JSON file. We said for a JSON file, first you need to know the path or like the name of the file with the path where you're recording it, which is in this case we added it at the top. Okay, this is the one that we have. Like says, hey, the path to that file, the assignment.json, it doesn't have like a slash other files because it's in the root directory within that project, the root directory. So you can store it in this string, and then every time you want to read from that file, here we attempted to read the data. That's why we use like first we check whether it exists. Like if it exists, then with JSON path.open, and like the keyword is R, means like read it. Here we are trying to read the file's data. Using JSON.load, you load the information into the list of assignments. Okay, you load the information into the assignments. Now, later, when you make any changes to the list, each time you make any changes to the list, you want to make sure that you record that change. Okay, so here we added a new order to the assignments. So again, we open this time with the keyword W and then JSON.dump and assignments to be able to record that change into like our storage. You had the st.success as a message, which has a unique, like a green type text, shows as a confirmation type message to the user. SD info shows up as a blue color, so it could be kind of considered as a neutral message. And then st.data frame, it is used as a way to show as a table, because like like list of dictionaries is like a table. When you pass that list of dictionaries to st.data frame, it creates those columns and also like the values, and then places them in the data frame, which we've used that in the view tab here with the st.data frame. The columns or the keys, right? The dictionary keys, and then like the value of each dictionary. That's why we say list of dictionary is just about like a database. Here you might building the database, but here. Okay, we want to start from the search tab. So we already created this part, view search, view and search. This time I want to say what should happen. Okay, let's build this part if the user clicks on search. Okay, so if the user clicks on search, what do we want to do? We want to like show the list of assignments to the user and then let it choose. You might say, but it's a search, like you want the user to also search through the titles and databases. Let me I will go over one round. Once I completed it, maybe like next session, I will come back and a little bit like complete this like sections a little bit more by adding more content, like adding a text box to actually typing and searching through the titles. But for now, we want to show the list of assignments. We want to start from the titles. So first, I need a list of titles. Okay, I want a list of titles that I have for the assignments, and then I can load them into a select box. So first I create an empty list and then search inside the for assignment in assignment. Okay. Titles dot append assignment title. Okay. All right. Now I can say selected title. Okay. Why I have selected title? Because I want to show to the user a select box and then store the selected title in it. So st.select box title is select title. Okay. So before this, when we had examples, we would actually create the list here. But now we can see that we can also like create the list before and then just like place it in the select box. So here I will use titles. Select box title. Select titles. Let me go back here and rerun this. Now you can see here, we load the assignment title into the select box, and the user can choose one of them, right? Each one of them can be chosen based on the assignments that we have. From here, let's practice one thing from now on. Okay, every time you're creating one of these icons, st.select box, st.button, st. Text box. These are ones that you're using to get inputs. You have to assign a key to each one of them, a key. How do you assign them? Just type key, and then let's set the key here to selected, okay, select the title. Keys have to be unique for every item. For simplicity, I just like use a simple like a text here. But over time, you will need to make it more unique. So we don't have two Streamlit items with the same keyword. If they're like if you create two Streamlit, like let's say two text boxes, if they don't have a key, and then a Streamlit will show you probably an error showing you that there is like a duplicate. If you create them and assign key to them, but their keys are the same, again, it will show you an error and says they're duplicate keys. And also the other thing is about recording information and like loading information into like different items. If they don't have key, these information can be lost. The key makes it more like persistent to record or like show the data and hold the data, especially when you're like switching or switching the tabs, your data might get might be lost. But the key setting will make sure that it is more persistent. I will talk about it once we get to session management. Hopefully, I think on Friday we'll cover session management. And I can talk about like the relationship between keys and then session management and then switching between tabs and so on. All right, so selected a title. Now we can search for assignment in assignments. If assignment title is selected title. Okay, for this one, what am I doing? I'm searching through the assignment to find the assignment. But one thing I needed to create like a dictionary to store the assignment information. So let me add a dictionary here. Okay, selected assignment. Okay, assignment. It's an empty dictionary. It's an empty dictionary. Okay. Why it's a dictionary? Because you like the user selects the title and you want to show the information about that like assignment. Each assignment is just one dictionary. So in the selected assignment, we store that assignment. You store that assignment. And then we can break. Okay, we can break. And then say, all right, if not selected assignment. Okay. Now, let's use one of the items like we learned before, which was expander. This expander is just a container area that like it can be collapsed and it can be open. So with st.expander and then parentheses. So with st.expander, I need the label. This is assignment details. I can also set the expanded the default. It could be false in this case because we're showing the details. It makes more sense that the default is open. So let's say the expanded is true, and then add a colon here. Okay, again, it's type of a like whenever you have the width, you have the keyword width. It has to end with a colon because we're saying this it's type of a container. So the item should be inside that container. And this like colon indicates that every item will come inside that expander. All right. So now I want to show the details of the assignment. There are several different ways to use them and like I use items and show them. Here, I want to practice using st.markdown. st.markdown. Do you recall how we you can set different font sizes using Markdown. What was the like the element that helps us set different sizes? What is that element here inside the quotations for different fonts? The hashtag. Exactly, right? Hashtag. So if it's like we can start from one hashtag, two hashtags, three hashtag, four hashtag, or no hashtag. Okay. So depends on the size. You don't want to go with one hashtag to like just show a description. It will be too big. Let's use three hashtag. Okay. So this is going to be let's say the title. Oh, I forgot to add the F here. We are using FS string. So title, okay, title, and this is going to be selected assignment title. Selected assignment title. Now st.markdown again F. Okay. This time I don't want to use a like a hashtag. I want to show you the like the contrast between like different like font sizes. For description, I'll just use the like description itself. Select assignment, this description. Okay. No hashtag. This is simple. Then st.markdown, again F. This time, if you recall, we could make some like text show as bold. What's the element for that in a markdown?
The stars.
As stars, exactly, right? Two stars, it's like in two sides. So this one I want to use for type. Okay, I'm going to use for type, and you want to add the star and then here and then a star. So the item, that item that you want to show at bold, it has to be between two stars and no spaces. Right? No spaces, just connect them. This is about selected assignment and type. This is what we're doing practicing, right? Like input process output. Does that make sense now? Like we are still practicing that. What is the input here? The input, right? The input is here. The user like gives you an input to look for. Gives you the input. You do the process, you find the assignment, you do the output. If you like select separate them, you're actually performing that input process output exactly here. So input process output. Let's go back and rerun this. Okay. I will use like one of these items. Let's see if I need to set this here. Probably I should have said. All right, I should have just like set like if selected assignments like without the not keyword. If selected assignment, then show that like not keyword needs to be removed. My mistake. Okay, they've selected assignment and like then selected. So this time when like each time the user select, now can you pay attention to the size of the text? This is 3 hashtag. This is no hashtag. This is with the star, making the text bold, right? This part is bold, but this part is just simple. You could have come up with a different way. You could have instead of like this, maybe like you can like do this as well, like the titles, like if you want to show them as bold. Just practice them, right? Different formats. You're choosing how you want to present this, present it in the best way that makes sense for that like user interface. One of the things that I will pay attention for your grading for next homework is just about your personalized layout design. Okay. This, like, I want to be able to see that you spend some time thinking about what is the layout for your design and not just simply putting things in one order. You're just simply like putting things in order. You have containers, we haven't used columns like that much. I'll try to like go back to like these codes next session to use a lot of like columns to be able to like place things in different columns, and I try to create a different version of this layout. But for this one, we haven't like changed that much into the layout. All right. So this was about like searching, but it's not clearly searching because you're just like selecting the item and showing it's kind of a view. For search, you might be like thinking, but the search is about user typing something and you search it. Let's go one round, complete the steps. The second round, we'll come back here and add a text box here so we can search actually do it. But the search is very simple. You get the text from the user, the title, and do the same thing. This time you're just like getting the input from the user in the search section. All right. This was about like view search. Now let's go back here. So what was our tab 3? The tab 3 was update an assignment. So let's go and actually develop the tab 3, which is like update an assignment. Here, because it's a container type thing, you see, we can like collapse it and we can hide every code inside that container and just focus on tab 3. Okay, tab 3. So here I will use the same pattern. I should have used the same pattern here as well. So you see, like we have st.markdown with 2 star, it's like 2 hashtags. Add new assignment, and we'll use this st.markdown, 2 hashtags, updates and assignments. Make sure to be consistent in the way that you're like designing your tab. There are these 2 hashtags. If I use 3 hashtags in the other one, then it doesn't like it is not consistent. I actually think here it would be better if you use 3 hashtags because 2 is a little bit too big. But that's okay for now. Like we're just going through them. Just like comparing to that title and like this one, it's still like this is a little bit too big, where it's just like a title of the tab content. Okay, update an assignment. So first, we want to like see which assignment the user wants to update. It's an input we need to collect from the user. How do we collect that input? Again, let's show a select box, like show the titles, let the user choose from, and then we can start like getting the new inputs. So titles, okay, for assignments in assignments. Titles dot append assignment title and item. Okay, select the title. Let's select box. The title. titles key. Titles. It's like false. Titles that depend. Which one is indent? And explain. Let's see what is going on with my code. All right. It's so weird. No, it but it shouldn't, like, it is not part of the, like, F. This one is correct, like, okay. All right. Okay. It's so weird. It automatically needs to put it in the correct indentation, but I'm not sure why it wasn't like doing that, and it was like showing this error. I'm sorry about the, like, all the delay here. All right, key. Let me do this. Let me go back here. We have it like a select box. Okay. We had the select box here. I use the select the title key. Okay. I'm gonna use the same key. Okay. I'm gonna use the select like same key. I want to see like what will happen. Okay. What happened? I Streamlit duplicate element key. This is my point about the key. So you want to assign a unique key to every, like, each one of these SD items, or like SD elements that you're collecting input, and you're working with them. So, like, for example, in terms of a select box, we need to assign a key, but the key has to be unique. So here I will like use select title edit. Okay, select title edit to make sure it is unique for only for edit. I will talk about like a not like we need an like an ID pattern the same way that we use for like adding new assignment. So make sure that every like every SD element has a like a unique ID, and we don't mix up the IDs, right? If I run this time it works. So if you see that error, go back and check out the key. Okay. And like sometimes it's relevant to assigning a key or like duplicating a key. All right. For assignment, again, assignments, edits. Okay. We are going to update an assignment. So for assignments, in assignments, if assignments, title is equal to selected item, then assignments edit should be assignments with the assignment. And then great. Okay, so input. The first part is input. Let's ask like the user what like assignment they want to like update. Find it, some process. Then again, now you want to collect inputs. So for now, I will focus on just collecting or like updating two things. The title, the description. Okay, just simply like let's say we want to only do that. So edit title. It is sd dot. Again, it is showing me that here. Okay. Sd dot text input. Okay. It is title. And then again, key. Okay, I want to set the key, edit title, edit description, sd dot text area, description. Yes, edit description. Okay. So I think I tried this, like I will go back, I will run it, but I will go back and check it again. Last session it didn't work, which is like once you set, like you have the assignment information, you can load them into the UI. You can plug them to the UI. So it should work like with the value. With the value, you should be able to do assignment, edit, title. Maybe I'm missing something here. Okay, the same way as like value is assignment, edit. Let me try this. See description. Okay. When you use the key argument, like the argument value, and then place it automatically like should load the information into that text box. So the user only like can edit some items. They don't have to edit everything or like like change everything. So here, okay, you see this when like this given the selected item, it places like the item information as the value into the to the UI, plugs it in. One thing I think wasn't working last session was that when I was switching it. So I think the issue is something with the rerun. Um, all right. So what I will do, st.rerun. Let me try this to see if it works. No, it's not the issue here. It's not fixing it. Um, if assignments edit. Okay. It's good to add this, but this is not updating for the other ones. I will check like what is missing here that is not updating like based on like this selected assignment, these like the items inside it. Um, Probably something with the refresh page. But if you like basically like when you select a page and then update it, no. Yes, this has to update it. For some reason, it is not doing it. I will check it later. Okay, so let's add one thing here, which is btn update. Okay, st.button. Okay, update. Again, we want to set key. Okay, update button. All right. One new argument for the buttons, which can use frequently, which is what was the type? Type. You probably need to use type sometime. So it gives you a way to like choose like two different designs for the button. Like primary, secondary, sometimes like tertiary. Like I haven't used that one, like, but you can like see when it fits better. What is the difference? I will select primary and run the like rerun it. Okay. Type primary. Okay, again, this is like something I think I need to close my application and open and reopen it to fix it. Okay, so you see this like a red one, it's a primary. If I choose this to secondary, okay, secondary, this is the design of a second, okay? The design of secondary. Without doing any HTML, you can have different design for the button, at least in three ways. Okay, so for main buttons, either of them is good. And then also like for the other one for the size, we can use container width and make this true. So it expands like the button. Okay, so it expands the button. Then uh if up bt button update, okay, we had this spinner with st.spinner, okay, uh updating st dot up. We had this time dot delay, like time dot delay was it, or time dot asleep? Time dot asleep will like make some delays. All right. So now what we can do is that assignment edit, assignment edit, title will be edit title. Then assignment edit description is the edit description. All right. That's how we like update the content of the like the selected assignment. The last part, now let's record it. Okay. With was a JSON pass dot open. We want to write it. Want to write it as f and add a colon JSON dot dump assignments and f. It's like something encoding UTF 8. Right. And the last thing is just add one thing st.success to indicate that it was updated. All right. Let me run, yes, let me quickly run the attendance. I will come back to it. Should be able to quickly run the attendance. I will go back to the, okay. Okay, so I've added this so you can also see while like it's open and also like have this code. So this is the code.
That's new, right?
Yes. I wanted to make sure like it doesn't stop us from like seeing this, right? Okay, so it will run here, and you can see it while like you're working on it and you have time to take the key. All right, thank you so much. Make sure to push it to your GitHub right now. I will also do it just in case that you can go back and like check what we did this session. I only have one session left from doing this, and then Friday session management. Friday we'll work on session management. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you on Wednesday. I will post the homework grades hopefully after this session.
Yeah.
My brain has been a little bit acting peculiar, so should I like rerun relaunch this thing from the terminal?
Yes, if it's like sometimes the internet, sometimes it's just like the code. Try to run it and maybe like there is, or maybe you do
So what did they do last time? I basically got a love target over there.
I don't project assignment. Actually, no, here. So this should have been a
I didn't even. I was like, how was your weekend?